Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. We're now joined by head baseball coach Paul O'Neill. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, the Braves are currently 29-10 and have won 15 of the last 20 games so far, including a series win over Francis Marion this past weekend at Sammy Cox Field. What has been the key to your team's success over the last month?
I think when we win, we have quality pitching. We play pretty good defense. We're a pretty offensive team, but when we pitch, that gives us a really good chance of winning.
Well, we're 39 games into the season, and your team leads the nation in scoring with 10 runs per game, while also ranking second among the 266 NCAA Division II baseball playing schools in base hits. What is it that makes your team's offense so good?
Well, I think first of all, they're very talented players. I mean, they got a lot of talent. Second thing, we just talk about a simple approach that we try to get them into. We try to keep it as simplified as possible for them. And we just talk about what they need to do to be successful on a daily basis. And then after that, it's up to them, and they're taking care of it.
Well, your starting offensive lineup features 6 seniors, including 5 who have played together over the last 4 years at UNCP. How big of a factor has that experience and leadership played into the success of your team this year?
I think anytime you can have older players on the field for you, that's going to be a positive. Out of the guys that are in our lineup, yes, they've been playing since they were sophomores. So they've got an awful lot of experience. They got a lot of confidence. They've had success. They know what it's like to go through this grind of through the season. So that's the whole key to it, is that they've been there before and they know what the expectations are.
Well, senior Collins Thurl, who played his first 3 seasons up the road at Barton, was recently named to the mid-season watch list for USA Baseball Golden Spikes Award. How big of an honor is that for both Collins and your program, especially considering the fact that he's the only NCAA Division II player included on that list?
Well, I think it's a huge honor for Collins. I mean, I'm glad to see him get recognized for his performance this year. It's great for our program. It's great for our university. It couldn't happen, to a better guy. I hope he continues to have success throughout the rest of the season.
Well, on the mound, you've gotten varied success from a handful of guys, including weekend starter Andy Sullivan and closer Alex Britt. Who are some of the other guys this team depends on down the stretch in hoping to extend the season into the postseason?
Well, we depend on a lot of guys. I mean, not those 2 guys. I mean, they're both having good years, but Wes Hesselbeck. I'm trying to think, Jordan DeLoach, Zach Andrews. I'm trying to think of Connor Pratt. I mean, Jimmy Davis. I mean, there's Austin Hill. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. It's the entire staff that we're looking at, for guys to contribute. Yes, those guys at the front have been pretty consistent throughout the year. But the other guys, they got to do their part, and they're getting better, and they're working hard at it. And if we're going to, finish up strong at the end of the year, we need everybody on our pitching staff to contribute and continue to improve as we go down the stretch.
Well, the Braves are just 3 games behind North Georgia in the race for the 2015 Peach Belt Conference regular season title, with 2 league series remaining, a home set against Lander and a road series against GRU Augusta. With the guys still being in the hunt for this title, has that been a motivator for your team on the field?
I'm sure it has been. I mean, we set some team goals, obviously, at the beginning of the year, of where we wanted to be at the end of the season. We're reaching our goals. We set up several goals, and we're checking them off as we go. And, being in the hunt this time of year, absolutely, it's important for you to be there. It gives you, self-motivation for each kid that's out there. It's something to talk about as a coaching staff of, you take one game at a time. Now we're focusing on Barton that we have on Tuesday.
Well, one of the benchmarks of this program has been 30 wins, and it's a mark this team has been able to achieve over the last 10 years, and will do so again with one more victory this year. For those not associated with your program, what makes the 30th win so special for the Braves?
Well, I think it just shows consistency for us. In Division II, you only play 50 games. So by winning 30, it shows that you've been consistent, over the course of the year, and if you can do it year and year and year after year, then it just lets people know the type of program that you've developed and what the expectations are in your program, the quality of play that you put out on the field. Players come and go and they change, but if we got a system in play, then we've got a good chance of being successful each year.
All right, well, we're going to take our next commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue talking to head baseball coach Paul O'Neill, so stay tuned.